Dear friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for pressing that like button. And please, if it's your first time, remember to share, to like, and subscribe. You are part of my story, and I honor you, and I bless the name of the Lord for you. Friends, welcome back. We are still continuing with our conversation on conflict resolution in our marriages. In our last part, we talked about the possible causes. As my colleague Diana noted earlier, there are many causes. The financial management. We all love money. You can earn money, you can lack it, and then it causes conflict. There are even your dress code, even spiritual matters. You can even disagree. Me, I want to attend 10 o'clock service. Me, I want to attend 1 p.m. I want to attend evening. And then you conflict. Even visiting in-laws. So there are many causes. So friends, just take time as a couple. Discover, by the way, what makes us to be pissed off so much.
Christine, you know, when we got married, my husband loved bigger cups. Bigger cups of tea. It could even be bigger than just this one. I loved the Chinese ones.
The Rio teacups.
It was like dreamland. You know, those things you watch in movies. You know,
the Rio teacups.
And I was so stuck to them. I was so stuck to them. And I went behind. I was like, why do you really love the big cups? He says, you see, I don't have any problem with your cups. But I don't like all the time going to the table and adding and adding. To me at that time, it never made sense.
I know.
For me, I looked at the beauty. I loved the beauty. I am an eye. So I loved the beauty. I loved,
imagine.
And I always felt nice about that. And so it was becoming a conflict. I want to buy smaller cups. They are not welcome in my home. When he's taking tea, it's like,
he's uncomfortable.
He's uncomfortable. I was like, okay,
look here.
What does it cost me? I love tea. What does it cost me?
To use the mugs.
Actually, to use the mugs. Would I rather have the cups in my home or have my happy husband here? And I made a choice. I was like, you know what? Let me buy the big ones he likes. When we have gone out, I enjoy my cups. Chinese size cups. And trust me, I now love these ones. I always look out for the big cup. Because guess what? I don't have to go. I was colonized. This business of party.
Can you imagine? So as we said, anything can cause a conflict.
Yeah.
So in this part, we want to continue with our conversation with my sister, Coach D, and we want to take you through, our dear friends, when a conflict appears, like how Coach Diana has shared. Even me, if I'm to share the areas of my conflict, let me share one of my experience, especially in parenting. In parenting, my husband is the type of person, for him, he loves to shop for his children. And me, I'll get the shopping list, I start chopping it.
You're the mean one.
And the mean one. And then I will feel uncomfortable. Until I said, no, for comfort in my home, let it be as he wishes. And then life moves on. So, we want to take you in this part. Which are those steps? If the conflict arises, and by the way, you are not a sinner, you have not backslid, you are not loved, your spouse loves you so much, but you just need to agree and resolve that conflict. So these are some of the steps we need to go through. As we mentioned earlier, it's not one size fits all, but we want to share with you the few steps you should. Yes, Coach D.
The very first step, what I usually take, it may be different for some of you, but what I usually do is to recognize that, hey, this is conflict. This is a potential joy destroyer. This is a potential peace taker. Hey, look here. Conflict is here. Recognizing.
You don't just cover it. You don't just cover it. Don't cover it.
I recognize that we have a conflict. We are not on good talking terms. There is something. You know, you can't lie to yourself.
You know.
When
you get
you're
to know
not
your
feeling the usual
comfortable.
comfort, the usual, there's this emotion of
Connection.
feeling, the connection that your spouse brings. When something has entered that, you can tell.
Yeah, you can tell. You feel it.
You can tell.
Yes.
So it is at that moment that I try and assess myself. What has actually happened? I assess our conversations, our thoughts, my action. What actually happened? Yeah. So recognizing the presence of conflict in your midst is the very first step. How would you anyway go and solve what you do not know?
I know. That is so important. Thank you much, Coach Diana. You need to recognize, you need to accept that there is a problem.
Yes.
And the moment you accept, it will remind you, I'm not an angel, I'm a human being.
Yes,
So
yes.
instead of, we ladies will have this silent treatment. There's a conflict, then you choose to be silent treatment. You turn the other side,
Yeah.
you turn the other side.
Yeah.
You create a hedge of the thorns in between you. You eat different times. No, just recognize that there is a conflict. And then after recognizing there is a conflict, you need to take another step. Find time, appropriate time.
Yes.
Find appropriate time. And if even need be, appropriate time, appropriate place.
Yes.
Appropriate environment.
Yes.
To talk about this conflict. As Coach Diana mentioned earlier, you don't just say somebody has been demoted or frustrated, lost a job, lost a business deal. Then you say, by the way, we need to talk. Ladies, you have that with all due respect. But we need to talk. We need to talk. Whenever you say you are going for a night date, then your husband will know there is something. No, you find a good environment. You need to establish your spouse whether he or she is comfortable.
Yes.
You don't just ambush them. There are people who have a tendency. There's a couple I'm coaching. So whenever they enter in the car, say, you say the other time you've been on phone, I see you are this and this. You start mentioning, like making it a courtroom. There are those even went to the bedroom. I always tell my people, and I want to tell it to us. The bedroom is not a battlefield. It's not a courtroom. It's a sex field. It's a sex room. So let's do what is supposed to be done there. Let's not be caught. You did this, you did the other. No. So find the appropriate time. Yes, Coach D.
I love that.
Yes.
I love that. It's not a battlefield.
It's not a battlefield. Yes. It's not a battlefield.
Yes. Thank you so very much for that. You mentioned something that has triggered me a little bit. But let me first address this, then I'll come back to that.
Oh yeah.
As you set apart the time, the place, and time to talk.
Yes.
You also need to keep it private. Keep it private. If I have an issue with my husband, if I have an issue with you, Christine, why should I go and tell John?
Oh yeah.
What business does he have to do?
Exactly.
You see, friends, marriage, we are marriage counselors.
Oh yeah. Hey.
But again, marriage is made by two individuals.
Yes.
God in their midst.
Exactly.
The best solution is going to come from the two of you.
Exactly.
And when you come to me as a marriage counselor, by the way, I'm not going to give you solutions.
So no way.
What I will do is to guide you.
Yes.
What I will do is to give you probably challenging questions to go back and assess yourselves. But the solution, the willingness, you don't get it from a counselor. You it is from your heart.
Yes.
Keep it private. I always say, unless it is life-threatening.
Oh yeah.
Then tell a third party.
Yes, true.
But keep it private.
Keep it private.
For the sanity of that marriage.
Oh yeah.
For even protecting your own self.
Yes, your image.
Your own self. Because you do not know in whose ears it's going to fall.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's going to fall in the ears of a very, very evil wind.
Oh yeah.
And instead of solving the problem is gets more complicated,
Exactly.
or it gets out of hand.
Coach D, you've reminded me related to that. These days in our generation, I love our generation of social media. People share their conflict on WhatsApp, social media, on WhatsApp status. You know, he did it again. Me, I'm not giving. I'm throwing in the towel. No, keep it private. Nobody is perfect. You are not the first to go through that challenge. So keep it private. And most so the best way you're going to keep it private, pray about it.
That's right.
Tell it to your creator.
Yes,
He has the DNA of your marriage. He has the DNA of your spouse. So tell him maybe his weakness. Tell God about the weakness of your spouse. And even by the way, they say before you point a finger, the 4 fingers are pointing to
That's
you.
right.
You may think your spouse is the one who has the weakness, but even you have a weakness. Maybe you didn't cleave, as we said. You didn't live your other ways. So that's why he's conflicting.
Right there at that point.
Uh-huh.
And this is one key lesson I learned from my husband. A step. Assess yourself and find out your contribution to the conflict.
I love that. Thank you for bringing it.
I learned this lesson and I have picked it from him. What is my contribution to this? You see, human beings, we are naturally selfish.
I know.
We naturally run into judgment when something is said about us. We naturally want to be right. But in the presence of a conflict, a conflict is between two or more people.
Exactly.
You can't say that I have had a conflict with Christine and she's 110% responsible.
No
I
way.
have a contribution.
Exactly.
You see, what keeps us humble is when you assess yourself and you find that even if I'm not the one who made the mistake, but probably I should have prayed.
I
For
should
you
have
who love to
galvanized.
pray.
I should have put a hedge of fire.
Exactly. I should
In
have
prayer.
prayed for this man, for this wife.
Oh yeah.
Okay?
Oh, yeah.
When you assess yourself, probably I should have maybe commented that you're smart, but I never commented. You see, friends, they're just simple things. What is your contribution to the conflict?
Exactly.
When you approach it from that side,
It will get lighter.
it'll get lighter.
It will get
the
lighter.
emotions are all going to be watered down, and you're going to be able to approach this issue, whatever it is, with a sane mind.
Exactly. That one has reminded me of, I think for us Bible readers, the word of God says, if before you remove a peck from another person, first look at the peck in your eye.
Yes.
So let's not be let's not be God. Let's not judge. Let's avoid judging others. Let's understand our contribution in that conflict. Maybe I always tell people, Coach D, maybe there is an omission, maybe a commission, maybe you assumed, maybe you didn't communicate. I assumed now I'll go to the market and come back. Then you didn't communicate to your husband that I'll be late. You say I'm going to pass through the hospital to see my friend. What you are doing is right, but you didn't communicate. So it's bound to happen that you do what? You conflict with your husband. So that is your contribution. Because you didn't contribute, you didn't communicate, you assumed I'll be early, then you get stuck in the traffic, you assumed it won't take long. So let's understand, what is my contribution? Dear friends, if you take that step and recognize your contribution, it's going to make it's going to make the conflict lighter, and it will be solved.
And you know what that step does for you? You will apologize.
Yes, exactly.
Even when you are not the biggest contributor.
Exactly.
And it's one of the things we usually tell the couples we oftentimes prepare for marriage, and they say, impossible. With all the energy. Impossible. How
I can't
can
own it.
that be? For example, let me just use a cheating example. I'm not the one who went out there to cheat. I'm not the one who initiated.
To that person?
I'm not the one. Can you imagine going to say, sweetheart, I am sorry. I was annoyed when there was a cheating. No, you don't point fingers.
You own everything.
Own it, but also focus on the event, not the person.
Exactly.
Okay.
Don't point fingers.
Yes. So I was so annoyed. I am so sorry that I was so. Do you make sense in that?
I do.
I'm so sorry, and please forgive me that I got annoyed when there was cheating. The problem is cheating. The problem is not your spouse.
Person.
It might sound
You
confusing,
own it.
but I want to tell you that that is what humility is going to do.
Yes.
Because you have realized that there is a part I didn't play.
Yes, exactly.
And because I didn't play that part, we have these kind of results.
Yes.
So because I have a contribution, I am sorry.
And you know what Coach D, in that approaching it like that, knowing that step, even it will give you the confidence, it will give you the faith to approach God on that issue.
Exactly.
There's no way you can pray for somebody.
Yeah.
There's no way you can pray like in case of cheating. When you are just praying, God, you see this, you stop,
Yeah.
if you are in prayer, you are complaining. You are in prayer, you are pointing fingers. But when you own, you own it, then it will really, it makes life easy.
Yes.
And then another step, which is also critical and related to that, you need to be ready to forgive.
Yes.
You need to be ready to let it go. You need to know that really this person made a mistake. And you be ready to forgive him or her. And don't even just say, I've forgiven you. If possible, speak it to him or her. Tell him, by the way, my darling, I forgive you. By the way, my wife, I forgive you. And even don't just forgive for the sake. Just say, forgive and forget. No, don't just forgive and forget. Don't just forgive for the sake. But live in those moments when you are real, you've forgiven the person. There are times, Coach D, people forgive and then you keep referring to it. You know, I forgave you. I forgave you. No.
But last time,
I forgave you.
I forgave you. But this is exactly what you did last time. It has I mean, my son usually say, why do you keep bringing things of long ago?
Long ago.
They are gone. Let's focus on this. I want to read
something
for us.
And then as the Coach Diana opens that reference, that reminds me, you know, forgive, that English word is made of two words, for and give. When you forgive, it's you that you are benefiting the person forgiving. You are benefiting, even the other person is benefiting. So you are giving him or her that liberty. You are releasing him, you are releasing her. So go ahead and forgive that person, and then the conflict will be resolved. Yes,
okay.
Coach D.
I wanted to a scripture just dropped in my spirit.
Yes.
James 5 verse 16. This is King James. It says, confess your trespasses to one another and pray for one another so that you may be healed.
Oh, healing.
You see, when there is a conflict, and the example you talked about, for example, unfaithfulness, it could be any other conflict, depending on its depth. Healing is going to come as a result of confession. The moment you don't let it out, even when we go before God, we confess, we let it out. And so we take it out of the storerooms in our hearts. So that in that space we occupy it with something better than those bad emotions. So confess your sins to one another in a marriage. Confess it to your friend and say, you know what, I am hurt. I don't feel good about this. That itself brings healing. You see, you don't need to take medicine certain times for you to get healed. Sometimes you don't need someone to lay hands on you. Here, confess it to your spouse. The heaviness on your heart will just lift it. And for some of you that have gone through this, I know you are witnesses. Just confessing it, that you know what, I am very bitter about this. I am not happy. Even if you're not yet ready to forgive at that point, you have confessed it. Healing begins at that point.
Exactly.
And then verse this was verse 16. Verse 17 says the effective fervent prayer of a righteous man avails much. I thought I needed to add that.
That is powerful.
Because you cannot
forgive on your own way.
Forgive on your own.
Yeah, you can't.
And even as you're confessing, I find it as a form of prayer.
Yes, true.
Yeah, as you confess, you're praying. You are saying, this is what I would have loved. And God is in your midst.
Yes.
And so you can get this strength to forgive after after confessing.
Wow.
Because there is already a healing that is taking place.
Exactly. That is awesome and powerful. Thank you so much, Coach D. Yeah, and dear friends, there is power in confession. There is power in confession. So don't be proud. Don't be proud. Don't be proud. Be vulnerable. Confess to your spouse. And if your spouse confesses to you, ask for forgiveness. Really accept, and then we move forward. Accept and then move on. And that one brings me to another step of purpose, to establish a God-honoring solution to that conflict. Don't just say, I don't care, whatever you decide. The other day I was talking to one of my mentees, was saying he brought a marriage counselor in their marriage to handle their marriage issues, and the lady sat like 10 miles away from the husband. And when the husband explained to the marriage counselor whatever they had gone through, and then it was the turn for that, she said, I don't have anything to say. No, that is not honoring God. Remember, you made those vows to God. So don't just distance yourself from this.
By the way, even if you haven't made the vows.
Yes, yes. Even if you haven't made the vows, yes, you are married.
Even if you haven't made those vows.
Yes.
Because we usually want to get things to cling to.
Exactly.
You are not excusable.
You are not. You are not.
Settle that conflict.
Settle it.
Because you didn't create yourself.
Exactly.
There's someone who created you, and he wanted the best for you.
Exactly.
He wanted you to enjoy life. He wanted you to be happy in your relationship.
True.
So settle it. Settle it. And sometimes, friends, I know, because I've been there. I know that certain issues, it's not going to be easy to talk to them.
It's a journey.
About your spouse. But there is He. There is one who knows us. There is one who knows how we feel, even better than ourselves. There is one who made the person with whom we are conflicting.
Oh yeah.
Take it to Him in prayer.
Take it.
I think the Bible again somewhere says we do not have because we ask not.
Yes.
It still must be James.
Yes.
I think chapter 1. Yes. For those of you that lack wisdom, ask God for it and He will give it to you. We do not have because we ask not.
Yes.
Some conflicts are very difficult and you do not know how to approach your spouse. You honestly don't know. You don't see a way out. It is like an hurdle. Because of certain conditions, not also their wiring. There are some people that have become gods in certain relationships.
True.
And it's a no-go area for that matter.
Yes.
But let me tell you a secret. Go to God. And tell Him, this is what I feel about my wife. This is what I feel about my husband. This is what I am going through. Cry if you want to cry.
I know.
Tell Him. Like Christine already mentioned, the God you are talking to has their wiring.
The DNA.
You have His wiring. And He knows. He knows anything that can make that situation turn around.
Exactly.
So I know those questions were popping.
I know.
But I have learned that the very first place, my refuge, God is my refuge. He is the very first place. Even before I talk to my husband on a simple issue, I just say, God, how do I go about this? Because I don't trust my words. I don't trust the best. In what ways? I come from an upbringing of being very direct. We just talk about issues. But then his background is one that will package and you know. I know. So all through I have learned that I need to ask God
for wisdom,
to tame my tongue, to give me the how, so that when I am trying to resolve a conflict, I don't create another conflict.
I know. Thank you, Coach. That you've reminded me as we're about to wind up. Please, as you establish God-honoring solution, remember to pursue reconciliation, not revenge.
Yes.
Let's not revenge.
Yes.
Let's pursue reconciliation. Our God for us Christians, our God had what happened in Garden of Eden, we all know it. But then we got apart from God. But he had to get a plan of reconciliation. So, friends, let's not revenge. Let's reconcile with our spouses.
That's right.
Do it for your best. You get it? So, let's always purpose to resolve conflict. Our dear friends, as we are about to wind up this episode, I want to invite my sister, Coach Diana, to make her concluding remarks on these steps of conflict resolution and conflict as well in general in our marriages.
Thank you, my dear. We've talked about quite a lot. Quite a lot. I may not mention them in detail, but one of the key things is forgive yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Forgive yourself. It all starts with you. Be willing to make amends. Be willing to forgive yourself. Be willing to reconcile with you at first before you extend that reconciliation to anyone else.
True.
And I want to tell you, friends, that there is nothing under the sun. There is nothing on earth that cannot be forgiven. There is no conflict that cannot be resolved.
Awesome.
I am not a supporter of this common phrase of irreconcilable differences because it comes from a point of selfishness.
Oh yeah.
It comes from a point of absence of God in the issue. When God is in the issue, God is a proponent, is a supporter of reconciliation and healing. And so may God help you and show and make for you a way, give you wisdom as you go through that situation. But I want to encourage you that situation is not going to kill you.
Oh yeah.
Very many people have gone through it.
Oh yeah.
And you too can go through it.
Oh yeah.
And at the end of the day, you'll be in a better place than you are right now.
Wow, that
God
is
bless
great.
you.
Bless you too. That is awesome. Thank you, Coach Diana. Our dear friends, everything in marriage starts with you. Whatever you want to see in your marriage, whatever you dream of, you need to have a happy life, you need to have a peaceful marriage. It's under your control by the help of the grace of God. And in this, please make sure you establish possible solutions to resolve the conflict in your marriage. Don't avoid barring it, avoid pretending. Let's be real, let's be vulnerable, let's be natural. Let's allow God to celebrate with us as we celebrate our marriages. So, our dear friends, conflict in our marriage is bound to happen. But when it happens, I always love that verse that the righteous will fall 7 times, but he will arise all. So, what happens when you conflict? The good news is you are going to rise again. The good news is you are going to have a solution to that.
And there is special grace.
And there is a special grace.
Yes.
So don't run up and the other side saying this and finding solution from other people. As Coach Diana mentioned, with the counselors, we can guide you. We can walk the journey with you. But the best solution is within your heart. And you have it, the two of you. The two of you, you know the answer, you know the solution. But you can come to us just for counsel and just for guidance. So, dear friends, thank you so much for subscribing to this YouTube channel. And it's my prayer that all of us, married and those about to join the marriage, we shall eliminate conflicts by resolving them, by accepting, by recognizing, by going back to our Father and ask Him to give us wisdom, as Coach Diana said. Once again, I want to remind you, if you've not subscribed to this YouTube channel, please go ahead and subscribe, share with friends and family, and press the like button. We are going to be sharing our contacts in the chat room, and if you have any comment, please share it. We shall come back and answer you. I will always appreciate your time. Thank you for being part of our story and of this conversation. And we want to appreciate Sheila and John on the camera, behind the camera. We appreciate you so very much. Thank you so much. Shout out for Sheila and John for really the good work you are doing. To you, my sweet sister, it has been a great time to be with you. You've really melted my heart. Thank you for sharing your heart with our subscribers. Thank you so much for sharing what God has put on your heart. and I pray we shall have many conversations. And from me to you is a thank you, and I love you, my sister.
Love you too.
God bless you. Bye-bye.